Hello, my name is Levent Bulut, and this presentation is justifying the use of performance analysis to develop a coaching program for the Exeter Chiefs, a professional rugby union team specific to the scrum. In this study, the objectives is to identify the strengths and weaknesses of the scrum for the Exeter Chiefs. The game was notated for a second 15 fixture involving Exeter Chiefs and Harlequins at Sandy Park. The specific performance that I will be focusing on is the scrum, and from that 8 performance indicators have been selected, enabling identification of the possible outcomes of the scrum. The performance indicators will be discussed and evaluated later on in the presentation. Throughout this presentation, there will be examples of notational and video analysis and how this aids a coach. Firstly, I will identify what performance analysis is. Performance analysis is the use of notational and video analysis to identify weaknesses and strengths of a skill and performance outcome. This analysis of a performance can be used by an athlete, coach, manager as a source of feedback in regard to performance. Now the question is asked, why and who uses analysis and video analysis. The use of video analysis is used across the spectrum of sport at all levels. The main reason performance analysis and video analysis is used is to identify tactical and technical differences in the performance of a skill to improve and create a training program tackling the specific areas indicated. Video analysis can be used prior, during and post-match or game. The use of video analysis is a good tool when aiding a coach through the coaching process. This allows the coach or manager to use the statistics found to initiate a change in strategy or relay information onto the field of play to impact the performance of a skill. Here's a clip of a scrum and the use of game breaker. The use of a video analysis was able to capture a clip of the incident. The outcome of the scrum was a free kick against Exeter. Game breaker is a well-known piece of software that can be used to create this mini movie. Revert to the Weebly page. That's on the link on my Mahara page to who uses game breaker and why they use it. Moving on to my next slide. What are performance indicators, why I selected them, and what they show. This study will identify the performance outcome indicators surrounding the scrum. The performance indicators are shown on screen and are easily visible there. And this was for Exeter and Harlequins. All the data can be found on the Mahara page. These indicators were selected as they are the possible performance outcomes of the scrum. I researched the area of the scrum to make sure I identified every possible outcome. They were selected as they could be used for live notation and video notation, as they were easy to analyse. The aim of the indicators was to find out whether the scrum was effective and an area of which a coach could improve. In this picture, you are able to see the use of video analysis and how it can be paused and a frame can be taken to identify the weakness in technique. Now you can see there that one of the angles of the prop is going down, and this resulted in the reset of a scrum. And this is something that a coach can use when practicing in training. Here is the live data that I collected when I went to Sandy Park that evening in a pie chart. But this is the video analysis, which is the hard data, which is the more reliable. The data collected was put into pie charts showing the data in a percentage. This identifies whether Exeter Chiefs were dominant in the scrums. Judging by the data presented, the Exeter Chiefs scrum was effective, as they won 50% of their own ball, pushing the Harlequin pack off their own ball and stealing a ball from Harlequins. Exeter Chiefs also gained a penalty from the set piece. This equates to 75% of the extra scrum being effective, as they didn't lose or concede infringements on their own ball. This would suggest that their scrum was a strong area in the game. Tactically, the coach and manager can identify that they were effective and being an area of dominance. However, Exeter gave away one penalty, one free kick in the first half. None of the infringements equated to Exeter Chiefs conceding points, but this is an area that a coach can focus on during or post-game, as infringements can lead to points or dismissal from the field of play. Reliability, intra-reliability and inter-reliability. Both sets of data are compared against each other to determine whether the data collected from the live game compared to the video game is reliable. This correlation is termed as intra-reliability. Now, the intra-reliability of this data was 91%. This shows, when comparing video and live notational analysis, that it is highly reliable data. However, the data was not conducted by another person, and if doing so, we could calculate the inter-reliability, this again showing how reliable the data is, because the reliability of data is very important, especially when you come into coaching, because you want to make sure that the feedback is correct and specific, obviously, to the scrum. So the better the reliability of the stats, the better the feedback is and the more consistent it is. Why and how the statistics help the coach to evaluate, plan and conduct a training program. Now, this can be used using the coaching program. Obviously the indicators are there, and that can be used through the coaching process. All of this video analysis and notational analysis can be used through that. Here's a picture that shows the incorrect technique of the prop, as the feet were too stretched out and the head and back were pointing downwards. This is highlighted and in practice can be worked on. The outcome of this incident was a resetting of the scrum. This technique can be focused on in the following session, as the likelihood of a scrum going down and being infringed is highly probable, and this is obviously an area that professionals and many other teams try to perfect, as infringements cost the team valuable points. Obviously there's the focusing on the feet there, like they're too far back and he's hinging downwards. And if you also look at the flanker, which is behind him, he's also pointing downwards. So that doesn't help the prop at all in this scrum. Moving on and concluding, you've got images here that show the coding window, which again will be on my Mahara page. Just refer to the Weebly page that will show the different areas of Game Breaker. And the use of video analysis, it outweighs notational analysis, as you're able to look at technique and tactical strategies compared to just statistics, which can only be used as tactical. And this is evident, as I've used Game Breaker and it's very effective and it's being used in the professional game to good use, really. Throughout this Prezi, the aims were to identify how performance analysis can be used to aid a coach. Now, obviously, I just said it could be used through the coaching process, and both forms can be used to create a training program, obviously using video and notational analysis. And it clearly identifies the weaknesses. The main and most important factor is that performance analysis is a form of feedback that a coach can use the data to create an effective process of improving the performance. Now, if you want further evidence, just refer to my Mahara page, the statistical in an Excel sheet, and there is my justification there for this essay. Just want to say thank you very much.